Hello and welcome to my mundane front yard, or so it seems. We have random bushes, we have random rocks, a sidewalk I have been trying to find for 5 years. See, rock and sidewalk. Random plants thrown everywhere that I could possibly throw them. Yes, it is massively fast speed through. Some awesome flowers that I've found have grown here for quite a while, and more freaking rocks. The amount of rocks on this property is insane, and it makes mowing the front yard practically impossible without breaking our very expensive lawnmower. So we are going to remedy that here shortly. And when I say remedy that, we are going to rip the whole dang thing out. But first, we got to do some cleanup and save what we want to keep. Over the past few years, I have tried to grow so much stuff in this area, and as you can see, it is just weeds. So, once a week, my behind was out here pulling as much as I could possibly pull, getting as clean as I could possibly get it, but nothing would grow here. I have planted astaples, I have planted bushes, I have planted so many things, and it just doesn't grow anything but weeds. And honestly, I am tired of cleaning this up constantly. I'm tired of chasing the front yard constantly. So, what the plan is that everything must go so that we can start with a clean slate, which means one last time ripping up all of these freaking weeds, breaking my back. There's even a weed block here, and a fairly expensive one, and rock, and I put down natural weed killer. Obviously, it did not do the things. So I finally get all the weeds cleaned up again. It's looking decent, but to demo the front yard, we have to do one massive project. Well, a lot of massive projects, but this one is not going to be super fun, and that is removing the concrete block. Yes, the concrete block has got to go. So I had to figure out how to get the trailer where I need it without the lawnmower, because at this point I am still terrified of our lawnmower. So I don't know how to drive it. I'm scared to drive it through the front yard, for one, because of all the roots and rocks. And I'm not just talking little rocks, y'all. I am talking massive freaking boulders in random places in this yard. And they are death to a lawnmower. It is not good. The amount of times my husband has cursed when he has hit something in this front yard is insane. Along with like the 10,000 different types of grasses that grow at different rates. So we are removing the concrete block. I am dealing with a ton of spiders. The frogs are fine, but ants galore and flies. Oh, so many flies. I don't know why, but yes, the flies were horrendous. And then I have to figure out how to get the dirt out of the block. So a handy dandy pole, and just I start beating the crap out of it and continue to beat the crap out of everything until it submits to my domain where I get to remove it. So I am loading it into this trailer without a thought as to how I am supposed to attach the trailer to the lawnmower that I have to convince my husband to bring out, because again, I don't drive the lawnmower at this point. Now I do. This project has taken, by the point all of the videos come out, it will probably be over a year. This is just the prep work, and this is only the beginning of the prep work. There was so much to do, and so much concrete block. I put these down by hand. I'm picking them up by hand. They have been moved around so many times trying to figure out where they can use them, because I refuse to get rid of good material that can be used. So we have basically a barn out back that we don't use for anything but storage, because it's there and we just store things in it. And that barn is not the garage you see in the background. So we are going to continue to make many, many bugs angry and beat this down until it submits and it is all gone. Is there a point in y'all's yards where you have just been completely defeated and you've wanted to give up? There are a couple of places like that in our yard. that I feel like I keep trying and it just does not want to cooperate. So at some point, you just have to go with nature and let her do her thing, let her grow what she wants, and be a happy little nature lady that she is. And that is what I am learning throughout this entire process as I have bugs crawling all over me, hence the net on my face. And now that the last of the concrete block on this side is gone, I have to deal with everything else. So the mini greenhouse things that were a complete fail, like they are, you can see them leaning. They were not sturdy. Mice put nests in them. It was not a great idea. I tried. It failed. And you can see me pointing at it and talking to it and telling it was a fail. And me trying to save all of my little guys that sort of just guard everything and my little trinkets because I love them. And my poor little skeleton doggy fell apart in the garage. Like right there, he fell apart. And we were unable to fix him, which was super sad. Yes, he's totally wiggly. And I was not prepared to open it. I'm like, and no, we're not doing that right now. So I move over to the other side and just start picking up more of the concrete block that I'd already knocked over and gotten all the dirt out of, because once we get this done, we can move on to something else. I end up picking up all of our skeletons. Our little doggy, he is on our porch right now, I think, because I've painted him bronze to make him look less real, and he still looks real. I still look outside, see him, and I'm like, why is there a dog? And it is not a real dog. It is this fake dog statue that we got from my husband's grandmother's house after she passed because he looked so real. I couldn't leave him there because it made me sad. But we finally get it loaded up, and yeah, that kind of hurt. I hit myself with that. It was not super fun. And then I called my husband and like say, "Hey babe, I don't know how to do this. Thanks."
It is a brisk 44 degrees this morning. Sometimes you got to put on your big girl thermals, take out your teeth, and just get crap done. So today we are going to dig up all the bulbs in here. I know a lot of that's weeds, which I'm not going to worry about. This is part of our front yard makeover, which is going to be like a year in the making total. But let's see what we've got so far. I brought up a house for the doves. Now I have to get them into it. We have a bird bath also that I want to bring up and put up here, but I do need help with that. I have some hollyhocks over here I need to dig up, along with some marshmallow because I need to get to the roots and preserve those. The rest of this is weeds, and it's going to go. The porch has been power washed, and I used my power washer on the driveway. I wish I would have recorded it, but I did not. But let's walk over here and I will show you the difference. So this part has been power washed. Not perfectly because all I had was a sprayer. Now I have the little circle guy and I can do the little circle guy and finish it out. But that part, you can see where the line is, has not been power washed, and I'm hoping to get to that today once it warms up enough because it is, I think 43 or 44 degrees. And I don't want to get wet right now because that would kind of suck. I also power washed this portion, and it's much better. It was completely covered with algae and just icky, gross things as I'm bumping my belly into the camera. My belladonna is doing really well. My jewelweed died. Wait, there's some green in there. Let's go check it out, see if it came back. I don't know if that's a baby jewelweed. It looks more like a baby clover. But yeah, he's not happy. Belladonna is super happy. And we're going to try to keep her that way. Before our food break, we're going to try to get these hollyhocks and marshmallow up. And yeah, I know some of this is weeds, but we're basically going for the marshmallow and the hollyhocks that I would like to save. All right, let's get to this.
So I have never dug up a hollyhock before, and the awesome thing is that even after like the first year, you can actually separate them out and get multiple plants out of one. So this is a plant that just keeps on giving, and she's beautiful. Mine are black hollyhocks, and now I have a couple of different kinds throughout the property. These did transplant really, really well. Um, just so you know, they're a really easy plant to transplant and to separate out and get more plants out of. The marshmallow, however, was a complete pain in the tuchus, and it took forever to get that out, and those roots are so deep.
All right, we are at 97% battery. I'm going to try to get all the bulbs out of here and then remove this. The basket's stuck with mushrooms. I don't even know how that happened. But okay, whatever.
I had the most adorable little fairy garden in here during the spring and summer. A lot of the little pieces fell apart, which is fine. However, I barely found any bulbs. I believe somebody, one of the Peters, probably came up and ate them. That would probably be what happened because they like to do that to me. So during this makeover, I am learning a lot on how to pull bulbs, replant them, and which ones are resistant to deer and rabbits, who I call Peters because they scare the critical out of me pretty much every morning, jumping out of weird random places. And we're going to finish this pot up. I do get rid of this dirt because it's a little weird and dry and just really bound up with a whole bunch of weed roots. And then I eventually do get the pot pried off of this stump, which took a hot minute.
We will be avoiding my face for a hot minute because I have a sty on my eye and I look like I've been punched. And I have not been punched, it's just a sty, which is very annoying and it hurts really bad. And I don't know if the cold out here is helping it, but it hurts less being outside. Which one would think that's the opposite? These rocks are going to kill me.
I will spare y'all the multiple hours it took me to dig up all the bulbs. I know it doesn't look like much, but I think I got 80 to 100 bulbs out of this tiny little area. It was insane between what I had planted and what the previous owners had planted and what nature grew herself, I guess. It was absolutely insane trying to get through all of that dirt, all of the rocks, pulling out the bulbs, trying not to break the plants that were there because with bulbs, they need to keep those leaves on there to feed themselves for the next year or you may not get flowers. So any bulbs I've dug up on any part of the property, I am trying my hardest to keep all of the leaves and any of the flowers on them that are still there. I probably also transplanted some weeds. Pretty sure I transplanted some weeds, and I've probably missed some things. There were like these little green leafy things with white spots on them, and I know it's a hosta now, but I honestly cannot remember if I saved those or not because I didn't know what they were when I dug them up. So there's an app that you can get called Picture This, and that ended up helping me a lot after this whole thing. So just know that you can get that app and identify the plants in your area to make sure that they are a weed or not a weed. Thank you all for sticking around, and we will be back next week with a little bit more of the front yard. Enjoy and have a blessed week, y'all. Bye.